Welcome to the For Evansville podcast. You're listening because you care about Evansville. You see what's beautiful about our city, but you also see real challenges, and you want to be part of the solution. But where do you start, and how do you make a lasting impact? That's where For Evansville comes in. Through storytelling, films, podcast episodes, and gatherings, we drive meaningful conversation about our city's needs and opportunities. We connect people, organizations, and the local church together, creating a community where collaboration leads to real change. And we believe that you are uniquely positioned to make a difference. So if you're ready to move from feeling overwhelmed and disconnected to feeling empowered within a collaborative community, you're in the right place. Don't just live in Evansville, be for Evansville.
Hello, welcome to the For Evansville podcast. My name is Adrienne, and today we're here with Abby Elpers, the Evansville Regional Economic Partnership, or EREP, Marketing Director, and Ashley Riester, the Creative and Digital Manager for EREP as well. We are here talking about population growth. We're in our mini-series of Talent EVV's annual report, and so thank you guys for being here. Welcome to For Evansville population growth. Let's just jump in. Why is this one of the kind of four pillars? Why is it important to Evansville to even grow our population?
Right. Well, Evansville's population's been kind of stagnant for years now, and of course we want to grow. We want to be a bigger population. We want to have more amenities and things to do, and just have that bigger city feel like that Nashville and other nearby communities have.
Yeah. We want to keep having a city, so you have to grow the population to keep doing it.
I feel like, though, some Evansville residents are like, I don't know how much you guys are on, Facebook groups or whatever. I've said that so many times in these interviews. People are probably like, she's obsessed with Evansville Facebook groups. But I do like to keep up with what the general population thinks. And a lot of them are kind of adverse to change or getting these bigger things in. So why would you say it is important to try to be more like those aspirational cities?
Well, what we found in bringing newcomers to the area is that they're bringing like a pretty high income salary with them if they're remote workers. Okay. And then that's more money that they're spending locally at our local businesses and at restaurants and joining gyms. And so it just helps our local economy overall.
Yeah. I'd also say that the people that we brought in are excited to get involved and are not so adverse to change. So it's kind of influencing what can happen in our city. I think of people like Sam Benty, who is not from here, but has made a huge impact in Haney's Corner. She's a resident of the Arts District and plans their events. So we love having people who are excited to be here. And all of our people are.
They're bringing their passions and talents and things that they've learned from their communities here and then sharing them here and getting involved. And so it's just growing us as a community as a whole.
Hey, this is Pat. I remember feeling disillusioned about what I perceived to be a lack of collaboration among Christians in Evansville. 150 churches, 150 ministries type of thing. Then I discovered For Evansville, an organization that's devoted to bringing together Christians to address the city's most pressing issues, like kids growing up in poverty. And that's why I joined the For Evansville Collective, to be around more people like me who love Evansville. So be For Evansville and be part of the collective. You can learn more at forevansville.org/collective.
What's being done? There's two initiatives, looks here, like Make My Move and Belong Here. So maybe our average, listeners wouldn't even know what these programs are. I've kind of heard them, but maybe that's just the spaces that I'm in. But can you explain what those are?
Sure. I'll talk a little bit about Make My Move, and then you want to tackle Belong Here? Okay. So Make My Move is a program where we attracted remote workers into our region. This was actually our second year in the program. The first year, we committed to bringing 15 households to the region from outside the state. So you have to move here from outside the state. You have to bring your remote job with you, earning $50,000 a year or more. Okay. And then you have to commit to staying here for 2 years. And then along with that, we gave them an incentive, so like a $5,000 relocation incentive that they got half of it up front and then the other half after they've been here for 2 years.
Okay.
And then also with that, we gave them a welcome box with incentives that had passes to like the Evansville Museum of Arts, History, and Science or Wesselman Woods, and just ways to get them ingrained and connected within our community so that they can become a little sticky and hopefully stay.
Yeah.
So the first year we brought 15 households. This past year we brought 25 households.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that ended up being over 125 individuals when you count their families.
Yeah.
Well, some of these people are single, but oftentimes it's a couple or more. And I mean, we've had families of like 5 to 7 even move here.
Cool. So do you meet them personally and have like a relationship with them?
Yeah.
How has that been? Has that
Yeah.
been cool to just kind of see what their
Yes.
perspective of Evansville is?
Yes. And also we know whether or not they have a previous tie here. So like, are they moving back here to the region? Did they grow up here? Did they attend a university here and then move away? Or are they brand new? And then how did they hear about us? Or what was it that, drew their attention to us?
What have been some of those?
Some of them, like for instance, a couple from Florida moved here with their dogs, and they just said that they were tired of being hot and they wanted their dogs to experience 4 seasons of weather and to see snow. And so,
amazing.
like,
Their dogs.
I checked in on them over the first winter, and I was like, "How you guys doing? Like, how are you handling the cold?" And they were like, "We love it, and the dogs love it." And at that time, they were renting, and they were like looking for a home, so they were planning on staying here.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So I'd say meeting the newcomers is the best part of our job, because they come here for all different reasons. Like, they might be moving back because they have aging parents, or and they want to be close to them and and to care for them, or the lower cost of living because they were living in a bigger city, and so they would move back here for that lower cost of living, or they wanted their kids to grow up around grandparents because they were moving back here. So like, just numerous reasons.
Yeah. I mean, with Belong Here, very similar to Make My Move, but we were filling local jobs here. So one of the big things that we hear from the business community as EREP and being the Chamber of Commerce is that people are having a hard time filling their workforce. So we thought, well, we've attracted all these remote workers. Why can't we just do it on our own, filling local jobs? So we did the same program, running it ourselves, with an incentive of $6,000. So the barrier to entry was a little bit higher, so we wanted to incentivize a little bit more. But we brought 15 people here to fill local jobs. They came with spouses, they came with children, they came with aging parents, and moved them here. So we filled jobs at Sabic, Deaconess, University of Evansville. And it was super cool to bring people who had never even heard of Evansville, but came here, and so far they've loved it, and they've agreed to live here for 2 years also. So
That's great. What is some of the feedback you get from, like, they love Evansville? What do they love about Evansville?
So most recently, I saw one of them actually at a Christmas party, and she was coming back here. She lived here 20 plus years ago, and she was like, I was really not looking forward to being here again. Like, truly the Evansville that I remember, but she was like, now it is a 12 out of 10. I'm so excited that we're here. So glad to be here. Her kids are involved in sports and school and all of that. And then she teaches at U of E, and she loves her job. And so it's been really nice to see the connection and see that we're not the Evansville that people knew.
Yeah, that's interesting of seeing that growth, because I feel like even my friends, growing up here, they had this idea of Evansville, and that's the Evansville that they still think that we live in. And I'm like, it's growing. That's really cool now. I don't live it here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says early career professionals are a major focus for population growth. So are there any specific strategies being implemented to attract and retain them? It sounds like with these, but you're getting all ages with that. Is there any specific targeted for like younger?
Yeah, we're running social media ads outside of our state. So that's why people here probably wouldn't know about it necessarily as much, unless you saw a press release or something that went out, or, we've been on a couple of news stations talking about it. But all the ads are run outside of the state because we're trying to grow the in-state population. So I'd say our content that we're putting out there is probably leans a little bit more young professional or family friendly, to then bring those young professionals back into the region. But we're not specifically going after young professionals, I wouldn't say. We're just telling the Evansville region story, and then, we want to bring whoever that resonates with.
Yeah. So are there any partnerships in all of these categories? It seems like there are multiple organizations, businesses, people that are working together. Do you see that in this population growth area? Are there people working together to kind of boost that?
So everybody that we've approached to put incentives into our welcome box, so getting people connected to the community has been a big part of this. So it's not just bringing them here, but it's then keeping them here, getting them sticky, making them a part of our community. So we worked with this past year, Evansville Philharmonic, SEMO, the Evansville Museum, Wesselman Woods, the Parks and Trails, to get people active and visiting those amenities that we have here. And all of those partners have been super great in providing those things to go in our welcome box.
That's awesome. So what's next for this? It seems like you have some goals. Did you kind of hit those goals? And then what are your future ones?
Yeah, so we, excuse me, we hit our goals at least 4 months early this year. So, last year we wanted to bring 40 households here total between the remote work program and then the Belong Here program. So this coming year, we are going to up our goal to 50 households.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I'm not asking that is, do you think that you find interesting? Where do you kind of see hope in this area that you're looking forward to?
I love being a part of bringing people here who are as excited about being here as we are. So, coming to work every day and getting to tell people about the community that I love being a part of. I grew up here. I moved away. I came back. And I love the welcoming vibe that we have. I lived on the East Coast and it was not for me. I am unapologetically, but also painfully Midwestern. I think everyone is my friend. And the East Coast wasn't for me. So I came back here, and it's exciting to bring people here who also see the value of what we have and getting them involved. We get asked about different clubs, and then we get to learn about what the community has. Like, did you know we have a lapidary society?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, I didn't either. It's tumbling. There's a whole club. There's a society of people who dress like the medieval times, and they sword fight each other out.
I haven't been to that.
So we wasn't, but we get to learn all about the community and what it has to offer, so then we can tell people about it.
We've never found a space to talk about this on the podcast, but now I've just found it. I've heard that we have an underwater hockey.
We did.
Did? Oh no, is it gone?
It's gone already.
But we did.
Wah, wah.
Well, we need somebody to move here to start it up again.
So it was insurance. That was the problem. I know.
We'll find something for you guys to do.
There's something for everybody.
There is something for everybody.
I think it's really exciting for both of us to meet these newcomers and see just their passion and excitement for the community, whether they grew up here or not. They see the potential here. And so they see it like we see it. And so that's just so heartwarming to know. Or they may even see it better. Because we have a couple from New York that moved here, and he is the sweetest, and his wife then started working at Deaconess, and he's a remote worker, so he works from home. But they rented for a while, bought a home, but they think that we're the next up and coming Nashville. He just loves it here. And he's trying to get his mom to move here. It's really great.
Cool. What are some of the things? Has he talked about some of the things that he sees that he loves?
He loved, my favorite thing that he loved was he sent us a photo of a bunny rabbit in his yard, because that is not the wildlife that he had in Brooklyn. And so he was just super excited, but it just really wholesome. He liked how clean it is. He liked the cost of living, obviously. He liked that there were, his neighbors wanted to talk to him and were welcoming and open. And when I met him, he brought his mother to also see Evansville, and he was convincing her to move here also. So it just kind of, starts a fire in people that they want to sell it also, which makes our jobs easier.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to just say that I'm on Facebook, and I'm not on Facebook all the time, but but I just saw there's on what's happening in Evansville, that group. So there's it does seem like there's a lot of people that are saying, I'm just moving here. And so I'm sure they're maybe part of this program and they want to be involved or get involved. And so we were talking earlier about like the narrative that how we talk about Evansville, and it's important to like sell the really good things so that people will want to live here. And it's important the way you view your community and become a contributor of it. But I think it's what we're talking about is it's important to talk to them too about what they see, because we could see our city in a different light. We've had a lot of guests on here that we've asked, why do you love Evansville? And all of the people that have moved here, their answer has always mentioned the Philharmonic. And I grew up here and
We take it for granted.
yeah, I just never, like, I've been to some events, kind of thing, but I didn't realize at what high caliber it is. And so it made me interested and be like, hey, actually, now that I see events, I'm going to go and really appreciate that. And it's just made me see Evansville in a different light. I think it's important both ways of having people that are new speak into a community, because everyone can bring their own, different, unique perspectives. So that's great.
Yeah. So part of our job is in telling that story, we manage the E's for Everyone brand, and that's what we're pushing these ads out through. And this is what our newcomers are seeing. They're seeing the E's for Everyone brand, the stories that we tell behind the brand, the people who live here. The entire website is a really great resource for anyone that needs help telling that story, because it tells you about attractions and clubs and just who we are as a community.
That's cool. So people can go to eisforeveryone.com. Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Okay, we'll put it in the show notes so people can access that. So yeah, what can our listeners do to help population growth? If just an average listener, how can they get involved in helping people get here?
I would say one of the unique things about eisforeveryone.com is we also have a photo library, and there are free photos for people to use anytime they're promoting our city, putting social media ads out, whatever they're doing for their own business. There are tons of resources and beautiful photos already taken of our city that they're welcome to use. But then I'd also just say, only promote the positive, or maybe don't read the comments. I'm not sure how to say it, but you experience it for yourself, and then I don't know, build up the good, because there's so much good.
Yeah, there really is.
Encouraging the readers to just be a champion for our region. And there's a newcomer's guide on our website that, if anyone knows someone that's considering moving back here, or maybe their employer is hiring someone from out of town, make sure that you get them a newcomer's guide, because it has a lot of really great information in it.
Well, and even myself, reading it, there's things that I learned about Evansville just reading.
Yeah, we learned about Evansville grading it.
I didn't know we had all these amazing things and the stats, and it's cool. So I think anybody should check it out, not just newcomers. But, well, thank you guys so much for being here, for being for Evansville, and just helping our population grow. So thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.